We all know the Musks, Bezoses, and Gateses, celebrity billionaires who dominate headlines. But while you're distracted by their antics, there's a hidden class of power players, shadow billionaires. These are the people who quietly control vast fortunes and influence, preferring total anonymity. They operate through complex webs of companies and funds, shaping everything from your grocery bill to national policy, without ever trending on Twitter. Imagine the janitor secretly owning the whole skyscraper, and the city block beneath it. Welcome to Flinto File. Today we're exposing the secret world of shadow billionaires who may actually control America. We'll peel back the layers of shell companies and shine a light on those who prefer darkness. Buckle up. What you're about to learn is more unsettling than any headline-grabbing billionaire could ever be. Want to see shadow power in action? Look at BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street. These three investment giants are the largest shareholders in nearly 90% of the S&P 500. That means they own huge stakes in Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Coca-Cola, and more. It's not a free market, it's a quiet oligopoly. Their ownership structures are so tangled it's nearly impossible to say who's really in charge. State Street's biggest shareholders, Vanguard and BlackRock. Vanguard, owned by its own funds, BlackRock, owned by itself and Vanguard. This circular ownership creates unprecedented concentration of power. Their top shareholders and supposed competitors, Coke and Pepsi, major media, pharma, defense. They don't need to collude, their mere existence shapes the market. Leaders like Larry Fink wield more influence than most heads of state, but with almost zero public scrutiny. Their decisions can shift entire industries, quietly behind closed doors. While we debate Apple versus Android, these firms win either way. They own both. They've transcended competition, owning the field, the players, and the scoreboard. Most people have never even heard of them. That's shadow power. The Mercer family shows how shadow billionaires shape politics directly. Robert and Rebecca Mercer, once unknown outside finance, poured hundreds of millions into reshaping American politics to fit their worldview. They didn't just donate, they built an ecosystem funding media like Breitbart, backing data firms like Cambridge Analytica, and supporting think tanks. Their approach: control the narrative, target voters, and fund the policies they want. In 2016, they were instrumental in Trump's rise, providing money, strategy, and data firepower. They didn't just pick a candidate, they built the machine that got him elected. The Mercers proved you don't need fame to change a nation, just money and a desire to stay hidden. Their infrastructure, media, data, advocacy still shapes politics today. Shadow billionaires can steer history without ever stepping into the spotlight. Larry Fink, CEO of BlackRock, controls nearly $10 trillion, more than most countries' GDP. His annual letter to CEOs pushes environmental, social, and governance (ESG) priorities, urging companies to focus on sustainability. Sounds good, right? But here's the catch. One unelected man is setting policy for much of the global economy. This isn't a law passed by Congress, it's a directive from an asset manager. Fink uses BlackRock's financial muscle to push his agenda, acting as a de facto global regulator. The backlash is fierce. Activists say it's greenwashing, politicians call it overreach. States have even pulled billions from BlackRock in protest. The real issue isn't ESG, it's the concentration of power. One man's letter can shift global corporate strategy. Whether you agree with him or not, the fact that he can do this is what's truly alarming. That's shadow power in action. Billionaire philanthropy, think Gates, Soros, Zuckerberg, often looks like pure generosity. Their foundations fund health, education, and democracy, achieving real good. But is it also soft power? When a single foundation becomes a top funder of the World Health Organization, it shapes global priorities, without a vote. In US education, Gates and others spent billions pushing charter schools and Common Core, fundamentally reshaping policy. Grassroots groups can't compete with billionaire-funded campaigns and research. If a government program fails, we vote leaders out. If a billionaire's initiative fails, who's accountable? The issue isn't villainy, it's that vast wealth lets a few set the agenda for everyone. Their interests become public priorities, crowding out other voices. Philanthropy can be a velvet glove on the iron fist of shadow power. Always ask, whose agenda is being served? Why aren't these power players household names? Because invisibility is their strategy. They avoid media, skip public events, and let others take the spotlight and the heat. Fame invites scrutiny, Anonymity protects power. They use proxies, consultants, and shell companies to create layers of separation. Even journalists struggle to follow the money through trusts and offshore accounts. The system is designed to be opaque, a feature, not a bug. Media companies themselves are often owned by the same investment giants, creating subtle conflicts of interest. It's not about direct censorship, but about a culture that protects the status quo. Public figures are targets. Shadow billionaires stay behind the curtain, writing the script. They own the theater, direct the actors, and control the show, without ever taking a bow. That's the ultimate form of control. So where does this leave us? We've uncovered a world where hidden billionaires shape markets, politics, and reality itself. Their names are obscure, but their influence is everywhere. The real rulers aren't in the White House, they're in boardrooms and behind investment funds. This isn't about left or right, it's about unchecked power. Awareness is the first step. Learn the names, understand the mechanisms, and demand transparency. If we don't, the shadows will only grow longer. Subscribe to Flinto File for more untold truths and deep dives into the unknown.